In some schools in Turkey, a common punishment for misbehaving boys is making them sit with girls. It's meant to be harmless, but highlights traditional views on gender and social dynamics in the classroom. In Brazil, one common school punishment is getting roasted by the entire class. Teachers allow classmates to tease the student as a form of discipline, turning embarrassment into a lesson. In Myanmar, a harsh school punishment involves forcing students to sit under the scorching sun. With temperatures often reaching over 40 degrees Celsius, this form of discipline can be physically exhausting and even dangerous. In Norway, a cruel school punishment involves pouring ice-cold water down a student's pants, making it look like they peed themselves. The freezing shock and public embarrassment make it especially harsh. In Canada, if a student is caught chewing gum in class, the teacher might make them stick it on their nose and keep it there for the rest of the day. It's a weird and embarrassing way to make sure they think twice before sneaking another piece. In Puerto Rico, a bizarre school punishment involves making students spit into a bucket until it's filled up. It's gross, exhausting, and definitely not something anyone wants to get in trouble for. In Finland, a traditional punishment for kids who say bad words is having their mouths scrubbed with soap. It's an old school way to teach them to watch their language, literally leaving a bad taste in their mouth. In Brunei, a humiliating school punishment forces students to write their mistake on their forehead and keep it there all day. It's a public reminder to behave and an embarrassing lesson they won't forget. In the Philippines, a common school punishment involves teachers pulling students' hair as discipline. It's a painful and humiliating method that has been criticized but still happens in some schools. Discipline in some Algerian schools can be tough. Students who misbehave may be forced to walk on their knees, a punishment that's as painful as it is humiliating. In some schools in Nepal, a harsh and humiliating punishment forces misbehaving students to remove pieces of their clothing in front of the class. In Mexico, a terrifying punishment involves shoving misbehaving students into a dark, supposedly haunted closet. Meant to scare them into behaving, it turns detention into a real-life horror experience. In some schools in Niger, punishments for students can be quite harsh. One of the disciplinary methods reported is making students eat food off the ground as a form of humiliation. This practice has been criticized for being both unsanitary and degrading. In some schools in Ukraine, students who misbehave may be punished by being forced to do push-ups. This form of discipline is used to maintain order and enforce rules in the classroom. In Sri Lanka, some schools punish students by not allowing them to use the bathroom, no matter how badly they need to go. As a result, some children end up having accidents in class, leading to embarrassment and humiliation. In China, students can be forced to hold heavy buckets of water until they are exhausted. Some struggle to keep going, but dropping the bucket means even harsher consequences. In Germany, if a boy has long hair, he may be forced to tie it into a ponytail so that other children laugh at him.